So it's just cutting away this attachment to the sense of self and measuring yourself by achievements, if not in the physical world, in the spiritual world. And spiritual pride is one of the worst things I've seen. It's even worse than material pride. When people go along and say how holy they are, and how enlightened they are, or how wise they are, it's a sign of actually no wisdom at all, of no holiness at all. It's when one disappears that one gets holy. Because what does a hole mean anyway? A hole is like nothing in it. That's why it's called a hole. That's why it's called a holy life. No one's in there. It's a hole inside. So when one understands that, understands that this first part of letting go is letting go of the sense of self and ownership. So one can literally be free. It's even when I do go travelling, and I travel very, very light. I usually just have my bowl and my little bag, the bag I've got here, it's behind me somewhere. And so often that I've gone through that airport in Perth, and even this last time, people ask me once again, where are your bags? I say, this is my bags, my bag and my bowl. And they said, no, where's your suitcases? I said, I've got no suitcases. Even though you go away for 2 weeks, that's all you carry. And then they say, yeah, because you're a Buddhist monk, that's very good, well done, that's what a Buddhist monk should do. And it's so much easier, because wherever you go you have very little to carry, and you don't have to wait for these carousels, with all the other people waiting for their bags to come around. And you can just go through the customs and immigration very easily. So that's a wonderful thing to have, like the few possessions. But why is it that we measure ourselves by how many possessions we have in this world? And because of that we strive and work so hard. And because we strive and work so hard, we get so tired and have so little time for each other and the better things of life. So be careful about possessions, both spiritual and material. The first aspect of that right intention is just to have few things. In other words, to own, little ownership, so no ego and no pride over the possessions you have, and no sense of ownership either. That's also the case for ownership of your children as well. But that's another big problem which I was reminded of in Sri Lanka, same as in Australia here. Too many parents own their children for too long. In other words, they get to 21, 22, 23, and the parents won't let them go, because they're concerned about them. They go out into the big bad world, or go to nightclubs or whatever. What will they do? They'll have drugs, they get into bad influences. You've got to allow the kids to learn, sometimes the hard way. Sometimes allow them to make mistakes so they can learn by their mistakes, as we all had to do. But sometimes it's not even just 20, sometimes 30, 40, 50, 60. I was talking to one guy today, he's 60, and he still has to call his mother every day, and if he doesn't call his mother, she's very worried about him.